they are doing this incredible.
Well, there's a myriad of things. I think first of all, we have to go back to
Writer, you are very well known for your teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you.
Miss Nigeria competition.
I said, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.
The success of every woman should be the inspiration to another woman. We should raise each other up. Make sure you are very courageous. Be strong. Be extremely kind. Be resilient, and above all, be humble. With those lovely words of Serena Williams, we welcome my guest for today, who is an embodiment of everything written here. At a point, it is said that the woman is, or the one-size-fits-all is expression used for clothing. But I found out not too long ago that it can actually be used for a human being. My personality for today is someone who fits into almost all shoe sizes, all clothes sizes of every woman. In terms of her achievement, she is multifaceted. But who is this guest? Find out after this time out. The show is The Woman, and my name is Elizabeth Abai. Thank you for joining us. My guest today is one person that is known for a whole lot of things, but I will be starting with where she served last before she retired, officially not tired. She was the Director General of National Center for Women Development here in Abuja, of course, spanning across the nation and, of course, outside Nigeria as well. She is known by different people by different things, but I'll just call her for what she is known to me. My guest is Dr. Esther Manghza. Nice having you, ma.
Thank you very much for having me on the program.
Each time I have the privilege, of hearing you speak, I see life, recreated within me. I've known you for so long, and every day I keep asking myself, how does she do it? She doesn't ever change. You still look very radiant.
Life is a choice. You make your life the way you want to. So as a woman, you just have to choose either to be idle, to be lazy, or to be hardworking, resilient, and have passion for so many things. As you said, I'm one person that is not lazy. I'm hardworking.
Definitely.
Because I do so many kinds of activities. I have multidimensional activities. And even though I'm retired, I am still not tired.
Definitely.
I'm working very hard because I have many, many people looking up to me. So I need not to disappoint them. I need not to be tired.
When you say that, I take my mind back to what I have known you to represent, and that's creativity, which you're still doing till now. Before I get to the present, I know that when you were the Director General of the Women Development Center, now Women Development Center, you did a whole lot to empower women. How was the experience? Can you share some of the very high moments for you?
There were so many experiences, especially when we were working with international donor agencies that were helping to empower women. When we were going around the states, going into the local governments, the women development centers of the states, I was able to visit so many states in Nigeria, and I got to understand the challenges of women at the grassroots. Even though when I was growing up, I had interest in mobilizing women, right from the time of Mariam Babangida, who introduced Nigerian women to exposure now. Because I'm not ashamed to say because of Mariam Babangida, I am now what I am today. Because if not for her exposure that now brought me out of the limelight from education, being a principal in a school, and then being the coordinator of Better Life then, Better Life for Rural Women, and I found myself at the helm of affairs of the National Center for Women Development. If not for her exposure, I would still be in my jail in Borno State. And then, from that time, I had the interest of mobilizing women, trying to empower women, exposing women to be like me or more like me. So I find interest in getting especially young women to make life better for themselves. So all along, from the 80s, I've been working with female agencies. For example, I have been a pioneer principal of a female school for 11 years. And then I went into women education, and then I also steered the Better Life program in my state, and I became the director family support program, and I also became commissioner for women development in my state. So you see, all along I have been with women because of the passion.
When I said that, when I mentioned about one size fitting all, I knew where I was coming from, because you were a woman, but somehow you wear different sizes of women's clothes by way of your activities, and without even letting me drop, it's all going on like that. I was going to go to your academic life, because I also know that you're a writer. But before we, do that, I want to comment on what you said about Miriam Babangida bringing you out. It's one thing to bring you out. A lot of people have brought out people, but along the way they derail because they are seeking for personal advertisement. But you are not, which is what we want to commend you on. But then, has it always been all roses for you, doing all of that?
I have gone through many hurdles. I have seen discrimination at the highest order. I have seen marginalization at the highest order, because as a civil servant, I had some problems like taking a young woman or a junior staff to be my boss, and all this I had to do with challenges. But as a woman, you just have to be resilient, because, as I said, life is a choice. If you choose to struggle, if you choose to work hard, if you have a focus and you aim at something in life, there is nothing that can deter you. Marriage cannot deter you, getting children cannot deter you, and all that. Because I was able to school at the same time, make children.
Oh, you did?
I have 9 children.
You did,
and
9. Were they triplets or quadruplets?
By the grace of God, all of them are graduates now.
No, I want to know 9. Did you go to Lebanon 9 times?
Yes, I went to Lebanon 8 times. One is twins, and they are male, they are married now. All of them are on their own. So how do I make it? It's just one, by the grace of God. I dedicated myself to serving my God, and then I make sure I look after my family very well. My family is my priority. See my children grow up educated is my priority, because they are my assets. And then together I have a husband that is supportive right from the beginning. Because one thing I told you about marriage also is, you don't go into marriage without maturity. Even though I married at the age of 18, just 1 week after my WAEC exam, I got into marriage without experience. But I like reading, so I built up myself. And then from there, I had the courage to now, okay, this is what I want in life, and nothing can deter me. When I put God first, and then my family second, then myself last, because others come in between me and my family. Who taught me that is my father, because I'm the firstborn of 9 children.
Okay, because your parents had 9, you decided to have 9.
No, it's just by chance.
Okay.
Because my father wanted me to be educated, and then in my place, you have people were against female education, but my father insisted. I would run away from school, my father would carry me, go back to school. I would run away from school, my father would carry me. And then he told me one day and said, Esther, look, I am trying to make you educated because I'm not the one to enjoy it. It's you. I'm making you and not me. From that time, I resonated. I said, oh, so this man is trying to build me up. Then I promised him, I promised God first, and my father second, and my third, and myself third, that I'm not going to disappoint any one of us.
So you did not.
So I did not.
Good.
So I struggled. As I told you, I was working, I was making babies, and I was educated. You know, I'm educated up to be a PhD level. How did I make it? Into marriage. I married after secondary school. And today I have a very good family. I have children. I have grandchildren. I have, I'm educated to the level of a woman.
For 18 years, when you were 18, you got married, and you married for 54 solid years.
Yes.
And each time I look at you and Daddy, I just give glory to God, because you're almost like inseparable twins, so to speak. You have been a typical example of what marriage should be. But I'm wondering, what ingredients did you use? What ingredients are today's women not using that our marriages are not succeeding? Share your experience, your success story.
One, you don't understand each other before you get married. You don't get to the root of your background. Because before we get married, your parents have to get to the root of each of you's background. The man and the woman. They must investigate and see that there is nothing wrong in your lineage.
Okay.
And then secondly, there is fake marriage today. People pretend to get married. I could cite an example where a man went and borrowed a car and was making shakara with it for people. And then one greedy mother decided to give her daughter to that man, not knowing the route where he got the car. After marriage, the car disappeared.
Wow.
The lady was asking, where is the car, where is the car? She didn't know that he borrowed that car.
So it was a cash marriage?
That was practical. I witnessed it. And then after a few years, they parted because they have different motives of getting into the marriage. The man saw that lady's status, their family status, and wanted to get in there. If he didn't get in falsely, he couldn't have married her.
Sure.
So that was why. So maturity matters very well. You understand each other. You probe each other. Know each other. You know you are coming from two backgrounds. So if you don't know each other and you went into the marriage will crash.
You want to give high up to Daddy as he's watching? Just say hello to him.
Well, he is my love. He is my 99%. That's what we said before when we were students in those days. We would say 99.5% for the ones you love.
Okay.
So we thank God for it.
So the other half of the 100, which one?
Well, one cannot, a person cannot be 100%.
Oh, okay.
Human beings, we are not 100%. We must have our lapses.
Okay, I'm learning. So he's your 99.5%.
Yes.
That's what I'll do. I think I'll use that too. Now let me go back to your activities now. You said you're retired and you're not tired. And I've been training you for a while, so I know that you're not mixing words when you say that. You're doing a lot of empowering, you're doing a lot of mentorship. And I also saw you with, impacting on the women in the insurgent area. Can you share some of the experiences? How did you even get into it? I know you're from Borno. Was that the reason why you decided to do that?
No. You know, why I want to empower people is in 2003, when there was this scourge of HIV/AIDS, my cousin lost 8 out of his 9 members of the family. So I was then the Director General of National Center for Women Development. Then the passion came into me that why don't I start a non-governmental organization, NGO, that I can go on campaign. So I started the campaign when I was still in the service. I got NACA to give me some materials, and I went into the village, into the local government, enlightening the bus drivers, the Okada drivers on the ills of HIV/AIDS. And then I now decided to register the NGO. As I told you, I started mobilizing women into cooperative groups since 1980s to 90s during Mariam Babangida's program. We brought women into groups and then made them into cooperative groups, registered them, and tried to empower them in income generating activities, teaching them so many skills that they will help themselves with. So that one now empowered me more. And I went on trainings on skills acquisition and so on by the government in many places. So that one strengthened me and then built my capacity. So as in Women Development Center also, there are so many opportunities for one to develop oneself. So I developed myself and became interested in NGO. So as I registered it, when I retired, I fell back on it. I already have the experience. So I now started to empower women. And here comes the insurgency in my area. I now decided to now start to help people. Fortunately, the Foundation for the Support of People Affected by the Insurgency, that's Victim Support Fund, established by Jonathan. Now, they sought for partners in Borno State to work at the grassroots. So I accepted. So since 2016, we've been working with them up to this day. And I will go into the hinterland, the villages where the insurgency are. Now we'll bring these women together and try to empower them, identify as they are returning back to their communities after the insurgency. We now identify their skills and try to scale up their skills and try to train them, empower them on marketing and good production, and then so many other things.
And so you
Give
need
them
a bit of
supervision.
hygiene. You're
Yeah.
teaching a bit of hygiene as well.
Yeah, we teach them personal hygiene because when you go to the villages, is very pathetic because the opportunity we have in the cities is not there in the villages, especially when it comes to amenities, social amenities. It's absent in most of the local government areas. So I became interested in the grassroots. So I'm a grassroots person. Up to today, I work with the women at the grassroots. And as I told you, I'm very interested in handwork. I don't stay idle. Even as at now, I have my crochet and my knitting pins and my wool that even at home I do it.
And I think what I'm going to do is play a little video for the audience to consume. And when we come back, you have to explain that a little bit for us.
Necklace, bangle, ring, everybody, you've done, okay, you've done 3, 4, beautiful. Sam done 3, yes, you've done 4, okay, you've done 4, oh, beautiful, you've done 1.
During the holidays, I don't allow my grandchildren to roam about. So I would ask the parents to bring them during the holidays or during the weekend. And then after maybe reading, and then teaching them our language, and then we go into crafts. So we'll do some
Oh, you actually teach them language?
Yeah, I wrote so many books about my language to teach children.
Okay.
My Mariki language from Borno State. So I teach them because many languages are going into extinction. So if care is not taken, many languages will be extinct very soon. So I made sure I write books to now encourage our people to teach their children or teach even young people now. Because of migration from the rural to the urban and then intermarriages, languages are becoming extinct.
You're also a writer.
Yes.
You know, coming from the educational background you refused to let go. How many books do you have now?
Yeah, I wrote 9 books. I'm on the 10th.
I guess this,
I'm on the 10th book now.
10th?
Yes.
Wow. This is
And the 10th book is going to be very interesting because it's the challenges of a career woman in Nigeria. Because I have the experience of that challenge. That's why.
This one you talked about dealing with hearts of a broken trust. What does it mean?
Yeah, dealing with the heart of a broken trust. That is betrayal.
Oh, okay.
Dealing with betrayal.
Where
Either
did
from.
you come from? What motivated you writing this?
What motivated me really was my experience in the civil service. In the civil service with my co-workers, with my subordinates, and then with friends around in the life. It's really very interesting because it tells about how the society is if you're not careful. If you don't know how to deal with betrayal, you will find yourself in trouble in Nigeria. Because so many people are psychopaths, so many people are fake, especially if you are in the civil service. People only respect you and they are loyal to you, and they respect you when you are in the position. Immediately you are not there, they are gone. And even if they are there are always people that would like to pull you down and then get your seat. So I encountered so many of such, but I was able to cross over. I was able to deal with them rightly. And today I can say I am happy.
Not too long ago on the same channel, I heard you talking about loneliness, and it really resonated with me because statistics tells us today that there's a whole lot of people lonely, and it's on the increase. Meanwhile, we are told that the world is getting even smaller as a global village. Share experiences if you have, and then give us tips on how to circumvent it so that we can live a happier life.
Loneliness comes with serious consequences, like depression, you said, like anxiousness, laziness, and withdrawal, and so on. So, as much as possible, avoid loneliness. Go out to people, go and meet people, make friends, make new connections, and go on adventure, as I said. Go on, have time to go out for some picnics and have people. I remember when I was still young and we were having our time. I was then the president of International Women's Club. We'll take time and have picnic over the weekend. We'll go somewhere away from our homes, we women, and enjoy ourselves. So go out and enjoy yourself, and then make yourself busy. Don't keep yourself lazy and just looking at the ceiling 24 hours. Help yourself. Be busy, connect with friends, pick up your phone, call your family members, call your friends, how are you, and speak with them.
You shouldn't wait for them to be the ones to call
No.
you. And I see you're leaving a residue of what you're doing on your children. You know, when I think about you and your children, the adage that when the hen is busy scratching the ground looking for food, the chick is watching quickly comes to mind, because while you're busy doing your own thing, your children have actually photocopied and stamped. Some of them own an NGO, and I know your daughter is one of them. She's doing something quite particular for the African voice. Can you enlighten us on that?
It's Africa tells its story.
Okay, yes.
That is African Documentary Festival Fund.
Okay.
You know, it is an NGO that documents African heritage, culture, arts and craft, heritage, African heritage everywhere. She's doing very well also. So I have 2 or 3 of them that have their own NGOs. So
It's a
because
DNA
they
stuff.
saw me doing it, and
It's a DNA
yeah.
stuff. Before we go, I'd like to, ask quite particularly, what would you want the women of Nigeria to remember you for?
Well, not what they will remember me for, but what will they do.
Okay.
When I wrote the Heart of a Broken Trust, I told you, is the pull down syndrome of women. Now, I want women of Nigeria to be united and have the same fronts and love each other, struggle together, before they can break into jinx of men of Nigeria. If we don't help each other, if we don't come together as women and have a strong force, we cannot break into Nigerian men today. Look at the decimal number of women that are in the National Assembly today. We thank President Tinubu for appointing more women into positions. But when it comes to battlefield, like politics, women are nowhere. Because 1, the women don't support themselves. 2, the women don't have the economic power. And then 3, the society itself does not accept, especially in this patriarchal society.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We have learnt a whole lot from this woman, and I can assure you that that's not the end to it. Every time we can, we still catch up on what she's doing and bring back to you. The show has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for me. And while we say thank you to her, we also say thank you to you for staying on. Again, my name is Elizabeth. Bye.